often refer to Christopher Ward as a micro-independent brand, and I do that because I think that they have a design DNA that works across all of their watches. They're somewhat recognizable as Christopher Ward. There are brands that are even copying their look, so obviously they're doing something right. Today we're going to take a look at the upgraded Trident Pro 300. They have made a ton of improvements to this watch. It's good looking, it's versatile and rugged. Let's take a look at the Christopher Ward Trident Pro 300 upgraded for 2022. Usually when I do a video for Christopher Ward, I do a little bit of an unboxing because I think that the box that it comes in is a little bit nicer than other boxes you get from other brands at this price point. However, today I wanted to really focus in on the watch. This is the new C60 Trident Pro 300 from Christopher Ward with tons of upgrades. I'm going to go through each one with you, and we're going to start with the dial. So you can see the 12 o'clock position. Right below the 12 o'clock index, we now have the flag logo, and that is at the 12 o'clock, which is a improvement or change from the previous version, which was at 9 o'clock, and you also had the words Christopher Ward, which people really did not like. Some people did. I was one of them. I didn't think it was terrible, but this is more symmetric and I think more pleasing to more people. And then of course you have applied indices. They are saying this is filled with more lume. So the indices, the hands, and the bezel are getting more lume. Already Christopher Ward did a good job with lume. I'm excited to see the lume on this watch. I'm sure it's very bright. This gets a color match date wheel down at the 6 o'clock. It replaces part of the 6 o'clock index, and it is color matched to that green of the dial, and is very, very close. So the colors of the date wheel and the dial, very close, very well done. This video is brought to you by Whatnot.com. Whatnot.com are a community marketplace for collectors like me and you. Whatnot uses a live stream format where you can actually buy and sell watches during a live stream. They have auction functionality, buy now functionality, and giveaway functionality. In fact, that's where I'll be doing most of my giveaways going forward to help avoid scammers. Not only that, I'll be selling all of my watches going forward on Whatnot because I really love the format. I love the community aspect of it. I get to talk to the people who want to buy my watches, and they get to talk to me about the watches themselves. There's no better way of buying and selling watches. So come and join me on Whatnot. Download the app using the link in the description down below and get $10 towards your first purchase. I'll see you in my next live stream. They've improved the bezel action and they've made the case thinner. So the bezel action, I always thought Christopher Ward had pretty good bezel action. I think it's pretty similar to what I've had on the channel before. I actually have a Christopher Ward on today. We'll do a comparison side by side, but I think it's pretty good. And then of course you have that big Christopher Ward crown. I don't think they've done much with this. Really no improvement in my opinion that was needed. Very big, grippy crown. And it's, you know, has a little bit of a crown guard. It looks really good. You have the light catcher case. This is thinner than previous Christopher Ward Trident Pros, 11.5 millimeters thick for a 300 meter dive watch with a display case back. So this is another improvement that they have made. You now get a display case back on the watch, and that is a sapphire crystal display case back at 300 meters of water resistance. That is awesome. You get a screwed-in case back and of course a screwed-in crown. Quick release on the bracelet, milled end links of course, and one of the big improvements here on the bracelet, very similar to previous versions, however you're getting screwed links. No longer do you have to fidget around with push pins on this watch. I am very happy to see that they did that. And they also changed the buckle a little bit, and I'll show it to you side by side with the Christopher Ward that I have on a little bit later, but it's a little bit longer and you get a little bit more micro adjust, I believe. I think that's the reason why they went longer, and it might be a little bit thinner, but hey, not bad. I think the improvements are very welcome, and look at the size of those screws. They are really nicely flush with the bracelet itself. You could see that the tolerances on this bracelet are really nice. Of course, it's an oyster style bracelet, which is brushed, And of course, the sides are even brushed. Everything is brushed on the buckle as well, no polishing, and it is signed the Christopher Ward logo. Everything about the bracelet on Christopher Ward watches, I thought in the past, even with push pins, was excellent. This takes it to yet another level. Very good, Christopher Ward. I'm really happy. And then of course, the measurements on this watch, it's a 39.7 millimeter watch. It's basically a 40 millimeter watch. You still get male end links, which I was surprised. However, the lug to lug is 47.5. At the effective lug to lug, it is 51.8. And then that big crown, almost 7 millimeters. Really just a great crown on here. Now the price on these, I think, start under $1,000, however, on the bracelet. And that's the only way I would suggest you get one of these watches is on the bracelet. It's, I think, $1,050. So they've actually lowered the price slightly. It's not incredibly lower than it was before, but it is a little bit lower, which is pretty amazing considering all the improvements that they have made. One of the biggest improvements, in my opinion, is the thinness, and then of course the screwed links. Those are probably the two most important improvements to me. I think a lot of people will be very happy about the logo there at the 12 o'clock. Other than that, it's still 300 meters of water resistance. You get to see the Sellita SW200 from the back. It's still Swiss made. The bezel is still ceramic. And obviously you have a screwed-in crown, screwed-in case back, and that's really it. Everything has really been thought over and improved. The light catcher case still has all the same sort of facets that it had before. Really one of the best cases for the money. At $1,000, there is no watch that has a case finished to this level. And I've said that in the past in many, many videos. And I actually like Christopher Ward so much, I bought one. So the watch that I have on my wrist today is the watch that I bought through Christopher Ward. I paid my money for this watch, and this is a C60 and this is their sort of vintage case. This is a little bit larger. It has a hand wound movement. I think this is 41 millimeters, but the bezel action on here is really good. The only thing I would say is that this is a different style case, and it is also thinner because it has a hand wound Sellita SW210 inside, I believe. So obviously, there you go. It is thin compared even to this. I believe it's probably thinner than the new C60, but it is a little bit bigger, and it also has a hand wound movement. But you can see the bracelets, very, very similar. Again, this is a little bit bigger of a case, so it's tapering a little bit differently, but the buckles, I believe, are, you know, pretty much similar to what they would have been on the previous version of the C60. You can see longer and thinner. There you go. Crown, like I said, basically the exact same crown. So they're keeping the crown pretty similar. Man, what an awesome watch. Let me quickly throw it on my wrist. And like I said, that extra long buckle gives you more option or more space for adjustability. I think that's the reason why they did that. And there it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. I mean, it's a good looking watch. This is sort of their, I guess they would call this the Kermit version. I don't know if that's trademarked or anything like that, but it is a Kermit style watch, I guess. You do get a little bit of color on the end of the second hand. It's just in red. That's an arrow. You have the Trident counterbalance. You know, I could do without that, but everything else I think looks really good. Oh, and the automatic is in that reddish orange color as well. Let's do a quick lume shot because I think the lume on here is going to impress. In past, when I have done Christopher Ward videos, usually the lume is good. The lume is not good on my C63, but when I've done it for C60s, usually their more modern case has better lume. Anyway, quickly a lume shot. I mean, there you go. The lume is excellent on this watch. Lume bezel, lume indices, lumed hands. Everything is liberally applied with lume. You have a little bit of lume even on the second hand, which I love, so you can see that your watch is actually working in the dark. That's really it. I mean, there's really not much more you could ask for a watch like this. I think that at $1,000, I don't know how they can improve this more. It's $1,050. I don't see where they can improve more on this watch. Really approaching the perfect dive watch at $1,000, in my opinion. I've done videos about Citizen. I've done videos about Seiko. The only thing that Christopher Ward is missing is history. If they had some sort of history, they wouldn't be charging $1,000 for their watches. They would, you know, economize that and sort of add that to the price. They would be charging $2,000 for these watches. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. The improvements are all welcome. I think they did a great job, and obviously they listened to the people who are buying their watches, and they made a good, choice in that. And obviously, they've made some really great changes. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of this? What do you think of the improvements? What do you think of Christopher Ward? And what I said about them lacking history. And that's the reason why they're able to actually give you a watch like this at $1,000. I think that any brand who's making a watch at this level sort of capitalize on that. And it's actually a good thing that they're sort of not. They don't have that. You're able to get a watch like this. Anyway, tell me what you guys think. Maybe I'm crazy, but tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog, all one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to different websites. One of them is whatnot.com, where I do live streams and sell watches and buy tons of watches as well. So definitely check out Whatnot. It is a great place for live streaming sellers. So there's a lot of sellers on there that are live streaming watches, and it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. Definitely check it out if you are interested in vintage watches and, of course, bargains, because there are a lot of bargains on Whatnot right now. So check it out. Down below there is a link. You click that link, you get $10 towards your first purchase. You don't have to make a purchase, but you get $10, and you could use that towards buying something on Whatnot. It doesn't even have to be a watch. But that's really it. Thank you for logging on, guys. I will catch you guys in the next video.